You know how we all have a type, and I'm not talking about girls. I'm talking about football, baby. And with offensive linemen, for me, guys like Charles Cross, Bernard Ryman, most recently Josh Connolly, that's really the type of offensive tackle that I prefer. So Caleb Lomu, who we're going to be talking about here, he kind of fits that criteria, and he might be one of those guys I have a little higher up than a lot of people out there. So I just want to kind of state my bias out there. He's my type of tackle when I'm evaluating what I look for from offensive tackles. So the left tackle, I know Spencer Phantom gets a lot of talk, but Caleb Lamu in his own right, I actually think might be better, especially at the tackle position, even though he has some length concerns too. I think his length is going to be under that 34-inch mark, probably going to be in that 33-inch department in another conversation. Is he a tackle at the next level? I do think this guy is a tackle, though, straight up. So let's get right into the film, man. I really want to talk about this guy. He is really good and really promising. Keep an eye out on left tackle here, Caleb Lomu. He starts out with the number 55. Most of the film, though, will be 71. That's his number now. Now, the first thing you're going to notice with him is his crazy lateral agility. He's such a laterally gifted athlete, and his leverage is really good too. He is basically, we just watched Caden Proctor. He's kind of the exact opposite of Proctor, but he has unlimited pocket range because of his lateral agility. Run blocking wise, don't expect a whole ton like Caden Proctor, where he's going to drive dudes off the ball 10 yards. You see him here, he's getting dominated a little bit. We can even go back on this one. And this guy's not even the biggest dude right here, this Baylor defender, number 50, what is it, 51, 57? Yeah, he's dominating him at the point of attack. So that's not really a strength of his game. He's really a great pass protector. You see him just so comfortable with his mirroring skills. That's the big thing. I mean, he loses reps because of his lack of arm length, but he always is in the game because of the lateral agility, the lateral twitch. I think when he runs the shuttle time, that's what's going to be most impressive with his athletic testing. See, he lost that rep. That's sometimes where his length disadvantage shows up, and we're going to see that here. But he is still in the rep because of his pocket range. He does get beat there to the inside. Bit of a miss inside counter there. Good getting to the second level here. Control and sustain. So he can at least sustain blocks. While he's not the most powerful, he's not going to knock dudes off the ball a ton. He isn't going, to lose the battle a whole ton in terms of keeping point. He's just showing off there that he's not the strongest guy. Another thing he's really good at here is his pull blocking. So I wanted to take a look at that, just make sure, because it can be sometimes a little tricky defining if you have a tight end next to you. Where is he, right? Where is he? But he's going to lose one here. Watch this one. This is where sometimes he can kind of you can let his outside hand be exposed to these outside speed rushers, and it can be easy to swipe away. So I think he needs to get a little bit better protecting the outside speed track. So here's where he's just getting to the second level. Good solid block there for Lamu. This is another area that I think he's fantastic in, is his stunt and blitz pickups. Excellent. And yeah, he loses technically, but he still ends up winning that rep just because of his crazy overall balance and lateral agility. It's so impressive. Bit of a whiff there, and kind of ducks his heads. There are times too where he gets a little waist bendy. I think he can continue to work on that. And some of it is because of his lack of length. So he's trying to compensate a little bit by getting ahead. So that's going to be one of his biggest things that when we see him lose reps, it's really because of that. But you're going to see more and more of this. His snap trap technique is excellent, man. He does a great job. And this is not even his best, but that's a solid snatch trap technique that he has got really in his bag of tricks. And he's one of the better tackles with his snap trap technique. Just getting a little close-up view of that again. Really good job. His technical nuance is fantastic. And he's just turned 21 years old. See, you see him there, a bit of a waist bend, loses the outside track to those speed rushers. So, and also I didn't mention this. Oh, look at that. Knockdown power right there. I like to see that. Great job picking up that stunt. I just didn't see him lose any stunts. I really don't. And penalties wise, I don't think I saw it. I think I saw one penalty. It was actually in the UCLA game that just happened. He's so good at that. Going back, what was I talking about before? I forget what I was talking about before, but sorry, I'm all over the place here. Oh, I'm going game by game with this too. So I've watched 7 games of Caleb Lomu, and we're just going to take a look at each single game, the good and the bad with it. Overall, continuing on with the film here, See him lose that outside. It was a slow loss, but he does lose the outside shoulder just a little bit too often. And as I said before, there's another one. He needs to be stronger with that outside lead. See this next rep, speed rusher. This time he does a way better job. His footwork's so smooth. Little run blocking. Good job walling off this linebacker to get another stunt gain. You know what I mean? He's so good at that. So solid job with the leverage. Good anchor. His anchor strength is actually really a snatch trap. Really good at that. You're going to see it again. Boom. Great snatch trap, man. So good at that. Good solid feet there. Great footwork. Great mirroring skills. Stays so patient too. Even guys who spin on him, he never is concerned, right? He's always smooth in his technique. A little bit of a sloppy rep there, but still wins. Good rep. Okay. And this is where the lack of knockdown power, maybe he got tripped. Yeah, he did get tripped a little bit, but still, it doesn't have the greatest power or anything like that. But I do want to mention that he lost that rep. Got to get the good and the bad, of course, with Caleb Lomu. Just kidding, Lomu. I like his name a lot too. He's got a great name. He does have a great name, and so does Spencer Fannin. Both of those guys have really good names. We're just seeing more and more reps. Now, here going back to this one, see what happens. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, when he loses in pass protection, this is where he loses most often. He's battling with his outside shoulder. He doesn't have the ideal length, and he's trying to compensate. He's over his toes here, and yeah, he loses that one. Sometimes it's like, hey, just use your lateral agility. Keep kicking and try to get back in front of him. That's really the big thing. I mean, just unbelievable how good he is at picking up these stunts and gains. See what I'm saying, though? It's kind of a reoccurring thing with him. This is insane. Yes, he does get like spun around, but he's still able to get back in on the play. That's incredible. We got to go back to that. Hold on, let me get back to this. It's hilarious, man. It really is. Like, he's in a full 360 mode here where it's like, you know what I mean? Almost feel like I'm in one of those commercials or something, but great spin move. Most tackles, they'd be like, oh, it's over. They'd be on the ground, okay? Not Lomu. Look at the dip, the comeback round. He does a 360 of his own, meets up this edge rusher, and mirrors him back. So while he loses that, it's pretty incredible that he's able to recover from something like that. This time, though, IQ, he knows. Watch out for the spin move, right? I don't know if it's the same player. I have to take a look at that, but he's just so patient. He kind of knew what was coming before it even happened, too. Here's another pass blocking rep, outside shoulder. He does lose that one. It's a strip. It wasn't the worst loss, but it just kind of showcases that outside shoulder again. Good solid anchor right here. He's the low man. You're going to see that a lot to him in this film breakdown. He's always seems to be doing a good job. You know, he's 6'6". He does a good job of staying low. And there's another good hand technique. Man, his hand technique is just so impressive. He does a great job despite the length, almost like a Rashawn Slater-esque, where he is constantly being the first guy to the counter or the first guy to the point of attack. And if you're going to have the lack of length, you have to be the first man to attack. Good hands right there. Great job, again, using that snatch trap technique. Getting to the second level here to this linebacker, walling him off. Another stunt, easier, but keeps those feet moving, wins that rep, quarterback. And this is the most recent UCLA tape. This was the one holding, okay? I mean, was it a holding? Arguably. He did get knocked down here, okay? I think he just didn't expect this one, to be honest, which I don't know if he really saw this coming, but defender just pops him quite a bit, ends up on the ground. That was his worst rep of the UCLA game. Now, he didn't have to pass protect a whole ton because they didn't have to pass the ball really that much in the UCLA game. They really had the lead for the most part there in big time. So now let's go ahead and talk about Caleb Lomu and his grades and everything that I gave him. First up, mid-first round grade. I feel very comfortable mocking him in the first round. I just think his technique is so good already. And with his athleticism, if you're looking for a pass protecting outside zone blocking left tackle or right tackle, whatever, this is the guy. He is really good to me. Anchor is not his strength, but he doesn't really lose with speed to power. It's because he gets down in his technique. He's the first to get there with his punch. His grip strength is solid enough. It's not like jaw dropping. Like defenders can beat his leverage and everything like that, or beat his hands. But overall, like, he is very strong. His leverage is excellent. His strike power, his strike accuracy, His power is not unbelievable, but I do think it's good enough. And as I mentioned, at least he is very much proactive with his hands, right? His technique, I gave him an A. His strike timing, an A, because he seems to always be the first man to the punch. And with offensive linemen, that's half the battle. If you know when to punch, I don't care if you're the longest, meanest, biggest guy out there. I think I said that twice. If you're the craziest, longest of edge rushers, if you have somebody that you're going up against like a Rashawn Slater that has such good hand technique, it's not going to matter as much. Footwork is pretty good. It still can be improved upon. There are times where he gets maybe a little sloppy, so I give him a little bit lower, but it's still very good. He's got good footwork. His balance through contact is excellent. As we saw when he loses some of these reps, he's still fighting through that contact. And that's going to be something he needs to be good at with a shorter arm length. His mirroring skills, excellent. Stunt, blitz, pickup. I didn't see him lose one. I really didn't. Run blocking, more of a weakness with him is his drive power, his torque ability. He's not going to punish shoots. Okay, don't expect him to knock guys. He's not going to have those fantastic pancake blocks that a lot of people are going to scout and say, oh my gosh, I got to get this guy because he just knocks him on the ground. He's not going to Michael Orr him into a fence or nothing. However, he does a good job with his sustainability. He can get to the second level. He can reach block. All the things you're looking for in an outside zone game make a lot of sense. And his balance is also very, very good. And then athleticism-wise, very, very good as well. He's got good first step quickness, his slide quickness, redirecting ability, all excellent. And finally, his second level speed, definitely solid enough as well. I mean, we'll see what type of athlete he gets tested out, but I do think he is an above average athlete all around. Very, very good, especially with the running the shuttle. He's going to, I think, be like in that 4.5, 4.6 range if he does run that, maybe even better. Who knows? But he's very, very good, especially being 6'6", 305 pounds. I think his agility scores are going to really be excellent. The last thing I want to mention here is maybe a couple of good team fits, right? Just for some fun. I think Seattle with Clint Kubiak would be a really, really good fit for him. Or Kyle Shanahan in the 49ers. Both a couple of teams that run some outside zone systems that would limit some of those lack of power, ability, weakness that he has, while at the same time, it's going to be a great pass protector for them. Now, you could make the argument, it's like, well, can he play right tackle? I don't know that at this point. I don't want to make a whole projection on that. I don't see why he couldn't, because his athleticism is so good. And I feel like sometimes with the more athletic guys, they're make it a little easier to transition from one side to the other. However, with Caleb Lomu, really like his game. Overall, watch out for this dude, man. Again, I'm going to be very, very high on guys like Caleb Lomu. So I just have to state my bias here. I'm trying not to be too biased. I try to keep an open mind and everything like that. But definitely a dude that I like a lot with his athleticism and hand technique. It just sells. I really think when you look out in the NFL, it works. Roger Rosengarten's another guy that I was really, really a big fan of with his athleticism and hand technique. He reminds me a little bit of him, or a Bernard Ryman. He is in a very similar mold. I actually think to Roger Rosengarten or Bernard Ryman, two comps that I would have for Lomu. Let me know what you think. Agree or disagree, though, which, hey, hopefully that's a good comp as well. I try to throw some comps out there. So some team fits and some comps. I hope you guys have a really good day, though. My name's G-Sling. I'm doing my thing, and I hope you do too. Keep it cool, and I'll talk to you later.